Welcome everybody, thank you for having me here. My name is Tom Böecker from Christie Digital. I'm here to present a little showcase of a 50-hour performance aus Licht, co-starring the Christie Terra SDVoE solution. I have chosen this showcase because this was done by the National Opera and Ballet here in Amsterdam, and as this is the last ISE here in Amsterdam, I thought it might be nice to talk about a little case study that happened in this wonderful city. First of all, let me shortly introduce Christie, the company I'm working for, and why Christie is part of the SDVOE Alliance. Let me shortly explain this to you. Christie was founded in 1929 in California. So as you can see, we are celebrating over 90 years of excellence. Christie was originally a manufacturer for traditional classical film cinema projectors, 35 millimeters. This is where we are coming from. In the year 1999, we acquired the company Electro Home Projection Systems in Kitchener, Canada, and that was the moment where Christie started to revolutionize the movie industry by its great projectors. Today, Christie is one of today's leading manufacturers for Pro AV technology, offering a complete portfolio starting with display technology. I'm talking about a full range set of one chip and three chip LCD and DLP projectors, mercury lamps, xenon lamps, laser phosphor projectors, real RGB projectors, flat panels, video tiles, LED walls. So the complete portfolio of possible display technology is offered by Christie. In addition to that, we have our own real-time 3D media server systems for the playback. We offer overall control systems, and of course video processing is a big part of our product portfolio, and this is what I am here for today. So as you saw this portfolio, why Christie became a founding member of the SDVOE Alliance. For me, it is quite sure. Christie strongly believe that the SDVOE Alliance, the SDVOE-based technology, is the ultimate platform for AV distribution and processing. Why? We are convinced by the uncompromised video quality, artifact-free 444, a wide range of possible resolutions up to 4K 60, zero frame latency. And not only video is transported, but audio is also transported. RS-232 is also transported. Infrared, normal 1G Ethernet as well. And on top of it, the complete USB and KVM application, which is part of the SDVOE technology. EDID management, something that's getting more and more important these days. EDID can really screw up your system if you don't take care of that. The content is secured, so no chance to steal the content and to use it for something else. The infrastructure that we use for this technology is a 10G Ethernet structure, which is cost efficient and some kind of the new standard already in the Pro AV over IP technology. Limitless solutions, another thing we are interested in. It's called software-defined video over Ethernet. So the limit of what the application can do is the software you build around the SDVOE technology. And for us, SDVOE is the only standard for AV over IP that exists. So we came up with Christie Terra and collecting all the possible things that SDVOE is giving to us. So 4K 60 support, 4K 30 completely uncompressed, 4K 60 with a very, very slight, fine pixel pipeline compression that makes it impossible for the human eye to make a difference between an uncompressed 4K 60 stream and a 4K 60 pixel pipeline SDVOE stream. Zero frame latency. No compression, 444, no artifacts like in a JPEG 2000 codec or whatever. Multi-viewer is included. Video wall processor is included. KVM technology is included. All this comes together in the Christie Terra product. A very high, flexible and scalable solution. And we already offer the first SDVoE input cards for our big projectors and our microtiles LED, so that you don't need another black box in between. You go from the switch directly into the display or into the projector, and you have full control through one single cable. So the vision of Christie comes clear. We're interested in building a complete ecosystem, starting with the video sources on the one side, the network switch in the middle, and the display part of it on the outside, without any black boxes, just directly SDVoE technology from the source into the switch into the display. This is our vision. So now let's talk about the case study I am originally here for. As I said, I have chosen a case study made here in Amsterdam in the National Opera and Ballet in Amsterdam. So first of all, the National Opera and Ballet here in Amsterdam is the leading Dutch organization for opera and ballet here in the Netherlands. One of the top 5 globally, one of the top 5 opera houses, being known for very, very creative, extreme and advanced scenarios. The National Opera and Ballet is one of these customers that always pushing the devices they are using to the maximum possible that these devices can do. So a very, very advanced customer, a very advanced technical team behind it. We know the National Opera and Ballet for quite some years because they are a long-time user of the Christie Pandoras Box Media Service Systems, which is a real-time 3D rendering media service system, which got chosen by the National Opera and Ballet because of its reliable performance and the perfect sync. And it's a great creative tool for opera and theaters in general. It offers a large effect library which is open, so that you are able to add your own effects to the effect engine. And of course, it is doing what every media service doing: projection mapping, soft edge projection, real-time tracking applications. All this is covered by the Pandoras Box Media Server system. In addition, the National Opera and Ballet is a long-time user of the Christie Pandoras Box Widget Designer. The Widget Designer, let me just tell you some short things about the Widget Designer. You can think of the Widget Designer like a big dictionary with all common protocol languages inside this dictionary. So the Widget Designer can understand TCP/IP, TUIO, UDP, ASCII strings, MIDI. Whatever you send into the Widget Designer can take it in, can modulate the data, can filter the data, or translate the data from one protocol to another protocol to send it out to another device. And this way the Widget Designer is building bridges between different devices. Both products are in the National Opera and Ballet for quite some years. They are very experienced in using these products, and that's how Christie and Terra got into the Aus Licht opera cycle I'm talking about right now. Licht is a 7 opera cycle by Karlheinz Stockhausen. Very special music. I've listened to it for a couple of minutes, then I had to switch. But 7 opera cycle, and Aus Licht was a selection of key passages from this 7 opera cycle by Karlheinz Stockhausen. It didn't took place in the opera house itself. It took place in the Gashouder Westergasfabrik in Amsterdam, which is the location of the Innovate Awards, I think. The whole Aus Licht was done in a partnership with the Dutch National Opera, the Holland Festival, the Hague Royal Conservatory, and the Stockhausen Foundation. We are talking about 3 performances only. 3 performances only. Each performance contained 3 days. Day 1, 5 hours of music. Day 2, 9 hours of music. Day 3, 9.5 hours of music. That was one performance, and we had 3 of them. So more than 15 hours of performance. Performance, I really mean acting on stage. That was live music playback for dedicated listeners. But talking about performance, it was more than 15 hours of performance. On day 2, there was a helicopter scene included, meaning we had 4 helicopters flying around the venue, a musician sitting in each helicopter, and each helicopter, each musician, the video and the audio was streamed from the helicopter down into the venue. That was part of the complete Aus Licht scenario, of the complete show. As you can imagine, it's not this easy to send up 4 helicopters each and every day into the sky. So we had to find a very, very reliable system solution to make this whole performance work. So inside the venue we had 4 LED screens for the content playback. We had quite some cameras. I think it was about 15 cameras inside the helicopters, outside the venue, inside the venue, that had to be integrated into the media server playout, because some of us, we had to add some effects to the live video feed, so it had to go through the Pandoras Box server. We needed something with a very, very low latency. We needed a video wall processor. SMPTE timecode was connected as well, and they were looking for an overall control solution that would work from different positions. These were the challenges we had in this project, and now let me show you the Christie solution that included 3 different products from us: Terra, which is the SDVOE product of Christie, the Pandoras Box Media Server, and the Widget Designer. The playback, the complete playback, was done by the Pandoras Box Media Server, and as I said before, the live cameras should be part of the media server as well. So we had to deal with 8 live inputs being shown simultaneously on the media server. Live inputs always take away a lot of performance, so to optimize the overall performance of the system, we decided to only use 1 output of the graphic card to serve all 4 Full HD LED panels. So we arranged all the 4 Full HD quadrants into 1 UHD stream and streamed out 1 UHD 60 stream into 1 transmitter, into 1 Terra transmitter, which was connected to the network. On the receiver side, we had 4 receivers running in the video wall mode, so they sliced the full UHD stream into 4 quadrants again, giving it to the separate LED walls that were located somewhere around the stage in the venue. Extremely easy. It was extremely easy to set up this video wall mode. In Terra, you create a display array of a 2x2 display array. You put in a single source and you stretch the single source over your complete display array, and automatically the system is switching into the video wall mode, slicing and syncing all the different outputs. The setup included a backup server, so the complete playout system was backed. And they had this nice idea to connect the backup server to another Terra transmitter and to stream it into the network. So switching from the hot system to the backup system was just a layout switch in the Terra system. Very, very easy. Very, very easy and reliable. As I said, it was a simple switching of the layout to get the backup source onto the screen. Just a little diagram, as you can see here. You see the server and the backup server being connected to each Terra transmitter with the DisplayPort cable, connected to the network gear switch, and there you can see the 4 receivers feeding all the 4 different Full HD LED walls. Network switch. Laurent from Netgear had a presentation a couple of minutes before I was here. I decided to add this chart here because my customer really was very, very happy how this worked out. Netgear network switches, especially the M4300 series, are optimized for the SDVOE technology. It's a real plug-and-play solution. You get the switch, you take it out of the box, you power it on, you connect your sources, your transmitters and receivers to it, and you're ready to go. No switch configuration is required at all. It's really plug and play, and it works. Talking about plug and play, I keep on talking about plug and play, talking about Terra. Setting up a system, no matter how many endpoints there are, is really, really easy and intuitive. You connect the Terra controller to the Netgear to the network switch and power it on. You configure the controller. All you have to do is give him a static IP address. And from this point on, all you have to do is connecting your transmitters and receivers to the network switch. Best case, of course, a Netgear switch. That's it. The rest is done by the system. All the devices can be found. IP address management, automatically, you just give him an IP range and all the IP addresses will flood it through the network. And you are ready to go right away. The overall interactive control, the content management and the camera integration was done by the Pandoras Box Manager, which is the control software for the Pandoras Box media servers. So it's basically a timeline-based sequencer where you can create and arrange your content on, including your live inputs, working with different layers. Of course, different positions, different scalings, different effects on the live inputs depending on each scene. Because the manager was an important part of this whole scenario, the manager was backed up as well and being connected to a local control screen. But in addition to that, both managers were connected to transmitters, so the manager was streamed into the network as well. But not only the video part of it, the USB and KVM as well. So we had both managers with video and USB inside the network. And that's enabled the designer of the show to sit down in the auditorium, only having another receiver, a control screen, and the control pads for the Pandoras Box Manager. So the designer was sitting in the auditorium with a receiver, a screen connected to the receiver, and all the control pads for the manager connected to the receiver as well. There is no delay. Talking about KVM, it's no delay, no matter where you are. It feels like you are sitting on the local machine, operating the mouse, operating the keyboard or whatever, even though you are somewhere else and you're just connected through one fiber line. There is no delay, and it's a very, very comfortable way to operate without using several manager licenses, which is another just money you can save. So I just added the two managers to the diagram. As you can see, hot manager and a backup manager, both connected to a transmitter, this time through HDMI and the USB cable, streaming everything into the network, being available at any time, at any place in the network. In addition, you can see over there the receiver. There was a screen in the control room, so they can see a preview of the media server output, and the manager in the auditorium, just another receiver, a screen, and the control pads for the Pandoras Box Manager connected through HDMI and USB. I already said it before, we had 15 cameras available. Unfortunately, and this is the future outlook I want to give here. Unfortunately, SDVoE and SDI at this time was a little bit complicated. So this is why they decided to have all 15 cameras on a 40 by 40 SDI matrix. Imagine that these cameras would be SDVoE cameras. You don't even need an SDI matrix anymore, because the network switch is becoming your matrix switcher. If we would have the cameras, we would be able to feed the camera signals directly into the network, making it available for the media server, for the LED panels, for all the devices being inside the SDVoE network. It's not the case in the moment, but this will be the next generation, and it will not take long until we're there. So, but in this case, we had a 40 by 40 SDI matrix with all the 15 cameras on it. The matrix was connected to the network, so Widget Designer was the tool that was controlling which input combination, which scene in the media server. So all of this was webbed together through the Widget Designer. So controlling input configuration, effects, and position in a very, very complex scenario. This is how the Widget Designer was doing the switching of the matrix and the scenes in the Pandoras Box Manager. So I added it down there. Of course, being part of the same network. So you don't have to build up another network for the media service or for the Widget Designer. It is all inside one network in the SDVOE network. So in the end, that was how it looked like. You can see the massive setup in the control technical room. A little picture from the rehearsals using the helicopters. Yeah. So Terra was a small part here, but it was possible to get it into the system right away. And after this show was done and was over, of course, the complete Terra equipment, the controller, the transmitters, and the receivers were taken over to the main house, to the main opera house, and is there used until today for each and every show. And the system is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So once a month we get a next order in for some more transmitters and receivers, because they are scaling up the system. As soon as they see the possibility or the need for it, they can add another device. So the system is growing and growing and growing very, very nice and smoothly. That's from my side. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for inviting me. Have a good show.